Welcome to Grow Girl Podcast, where we empower a woman one conversation at a time. I am your host, Inuka Joe, and
I'm your host, with some honest from We Are Not the Same podcast. Thank you for tuning in.
please subscribe to all of our YouTube platforms, our YouTube channels, and all of our social media links.
Perfect.
We'll
How was
take
your
one.
week?
Oh my gosh.
It's been a long week.
Yeah, it has been a long week.
But it's been amazing. How was your Super Bowl weekend?
Super Bowl was pretty good. After Kendrick's Lamar grand performance, I ended up leaving.
Okay. Oh, so
Yeah.
you the halftime show person.
Yeah.
I was happy to know you went to something. I was like, okay, look at
For
Inuka
real.
pulling up on her football vibe. Thank you for the
Yeah.
invitation. But I was invited to like three other ones. And last minute we went to one of our friends' Super Bowl party, which was good. We got there after the
Performance.
yeah. How did you
So
enjoy it?
mine was good. So my church planned
Oh,
a tailgating Super Bowl party event, and so of course my son wanted to go, and I was like, you know what? Let me go. I don't want to be home not doing anything, and I wanted to see the halftime show. I wasn't sure who was going to be performing, so
okay.
that was really good to see Kendrick Lamar do his thing, and he did
And
his thing.
SZA. Don't forget SZA.
Yes.
Everybody forget about SZA
And don't
being
forget
there.
about the
Serena
Serena.
Williams. Well, you know she's from California. A lot of people forget, like, she's born and raised in that area. So she has a story behind being raised there about one of her sisters. I don't know if you
Oh,
know that story.
what story?
Well, I don't want to false say the story, but you'll look it up. You'll see. It's a tragic story.
Oh,
So
okay.
she repped that city real. She repped being from Cali.
But I don't know if you know,
Right.
that was a message to Drake because Serena used to date
Yes.
Drake.
I remember.
So that's why she was doing a crip walk. And SZA as well.
Since used to date Drake?
Yeah. So he was being very petty. Kendrick Lamar is petty.
I did not
Betty.
know SZA used to date Drake.
Yes. They both dated Drake. And he also had the shape of an X
Oh, yeah, yeah. It was the
as X's or something like that.
no, it was the game remote control. I know. I
Right.
watched
The
the documentary
PlayStation.
about it. The PlayStation remote control, the X, the O, and it was another thing. The left, right, up, down.
Apparently, Drake is sponsored by PlayStation.
No, now you giving me too much now. Now you're giving me too much. First of all, I remember when Serena used to date Drake, but when I first seen that, I was like, they playing. You could tell she was playing.
It didn't seem
And
real.
I think it was more for me an age difference when I seen them. But once again, they were talking about how she was, this professional black tennis player. Why is she with Drake? So that was
I
like a
agree.
big thing too. So I didn't really see that go. But he's known as a supportive boyfriend though.
Oh.
Speaking of that, we are in the month of love.
Yes.
We are in the
Valentine's
month
Day.
of Valentine's Day and Black History Day, but we're gonna open up today about Valentine's Day, and I'm gonna ask Nuka today. So, do you have a Valentine?
Well, I don't have a Valentine,
I
y'all.
can't stand Nuka. I mean, going to that football game yesterday.
It was a whole bunch of kids in there.
Really?
Yeah. And I was by myself. No one was paying me no attention. Honestly, I truly believe that God has put a veil over me.
You think so?
Yeah.
That is another topic because I don't think they're ready for that. You want to explain what the veil mean? I mean, listen, here on Go Girl Podcast and Once Podcast, when we talk about topics, we open up and Inuka had this thing where she was like, would explain. So now I get to say, explain what the veil is. What do you mean a veil over you that God has?
More so like covering me from men. People would naturally think that, oh, I get hit on a lot. I don't get hit on a lot. I don't have a ton of men in my DMs. I don't go on dates with men every weekend. And when people hear that, they're like, shock. So
Yeah.
my only explanation is that God is covering me. I don't know what else to say.
Okay, so now that you're saying that, today I was thinking, I was like, starting today, I'm going to stop lying
About.
about like when a guy approached me, depending on if he's my type or if he want to talk to me or let's just say he go, man, I know you got a man. I'll just answer, yeah, I do. But I'm lying.
Why though? Why do you lie about that?
I think at the moment, it just be a moment. It be some guys I'm really not interested in though. It's like I could be at a bar or I could be at a place and he's approaching me. If I'm really not interested, for me at that moment, I don't even want to waste your time.
God, if you're not interested, so
Yeah,
I could understand.
but I
that.
do. I be lying. I be like, yeah, I'm in a relationship. Yeah, I'm in, and then I'll go home and be like, yo, why did I lie about that?
You don't miss your Boaz.
Listen. So, like when you said about the veil, at this point, I think I put the veil over myself.
I agree.
So me saying I'm gonna stop lying is me saying I'm removing my veil to finally be like, no, I'm actually not in a relationship, but I'm not interested. Or at this moment, I'm not trying to be.
Yeah, no, I get it. And honestly, I feel like I have a lot of healing to do first. So I'm not even that open to being in a relationship with a man right now, if that makes sense. I'm being honest. I just know
Yeah.
myself.
But what do you think about Valentine's Day? I mean, I'm in my 30s now, and I watched it growing up, and it used to be fun. It used to be fun. Then there was a point in my life when I was like 22, it felt dizzy. It felt like an ultimatum. It felt like if he don't buy me nothing for Valentine's Day, or if he don't take me out for Valentine's Day, it's a wrap.
Valentine's Day was never fun for me because it was always a sad
my
moment. I didn't
God.
have a Valentine. I wanted someone to ask me to be their Valentine so bad, and no one ever did.
Are you serious?
Well, actually, in middle school, there was this guy. He was not cute at all. No one liked him. None of the girls liked him, but he wanted me to be his Valentine, and I was so mad that he picked me because I wanted the other guy,
It's always like that. It's always like
who
that.
I liked, and he didn't pick me, and he asked my best friend at the time to be his Valentine, and I was so hurt.
Aw.
So Valentine's Day was blah.
But you're healed from that. And speaking of Valentine's Day, that's considered a holiday. And I know when you were growing up, it wasn't something.
My mom don't celebrate Valentine. That was more like for, when you're at school and stuff
Yes.
like that. Yeah, so sometimes kids will come and bring the little Valentine's Day card and, but at the end of the day, I wanted, the whole ask me to be your Valentine.
Really? Do you remember the candygrams?
Yeah, I remember that.
So you never received one?
Like for fun, like not as a boy liking me and giving it to me.
Yeah, I used to receive a lot. Imagine receiving a candygram, because remember, it used to be a secret candygram.
Oh, okay.
But you have like a boyfriend at the school and you're receiving all these candygrams, but in your mind, you don't know who it's from. So I used to receive the candygrams, but I kind of knew he wasn't the one that bought it for me, so I'll give them away. Yeah, I remember one guy that I knew he bought it for me because the entire time in driver's ed class, he'll just keep looking at me, and I'm like, I know he bought this damn, because he brought it into that period.
So she wasn't driving, y'all.
Huh?
She was not driving in driver's ed
Oh,
class.
no. He used to be right there. Don't even mention. Driver's ed was a fun class.
I'm sure, yeah.
And that's when schools have portables. I was telling my niece the other day, yeah, our school had portables. She was like, wow, portables. But then when I think about portables, I don't want to get too close to Black History Day, but when I think about portables being in schools, it was segregation. When you think about the portables being outside.
It was segregation. Oh, wow.
So when I see all the portables are no longer in schools anymore,
Is it because of that?
it was because of that we have schools
That's why they
have
took them
portables.
out, though?
No. Well, I don't know. The reason behind that is because a lot of schools receive new buildings.
Okay.
And remember, if it rained, you can't go to class if you was in a portable class.
Oh, okay.
But that was another thing. But back to the Valentine's Day. So I noticed it's nothing new, guys. We do have this thing now for the people that don't have a Valentine's Day. For the girls.
Galentine's.
Yes.
Okay,
So you want to elaborate on what Galentine is to
Yes.
people?
So Galentine's is celebrated before Valentine's Day where you can hang out with your girlfriends. And I am doing that this week.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh. Okay. Yeah. So
I was invited
nice.
to a Galentine's painting with a twist. So I'm super excited about that.
Yeah. So you want to know a joke? Since I might think I'm ahead of my time, I've been doing Galentine's since like 2009, 10, 11, 12. So we still have a day spa. We'll do breakfast in the morning, then we'll go to the spa, and then we'll go to dinner. But it was like whoever can make it. So it was
Okay.
3 events in one day. And I was like the host, but whoever can make it to that event, you were there. Even if you had a boyfriend or you had a husband, it was still open. But it was more around that time. Yeah, everyone came, single or not. We all was there.
I think that's cute because
Yeah.
it puts a lot of pressure on single folks when you feel like, oh my God, I'm not in a relationship, you know? So hanging out with the girls or with yourself is okay too, you know?
I think this year a lot of people are doing ultimatums. Like
Explain.
men, they gotta get romantic and they have a day where they can pull up.
Yeah.
Like, I get it. Why not love me every day? Why Valentine's Day can't be every day? I get it. Whatever. But you have a special day to finally say, you know
To
what?
pull up.
Exactly. I'm going to hire a chef. I'm going to do this.
Just go big. Be
Yeah.
extra. I
Because
agree.
I honestly, I wouldn't go out on Valentine's Day because it's super busy.
You'll stay in.
Yeah, I did one year. I did those days. I did pizza. Like we ordered pizza. We stayed home. We watched a movie. It was one night he had to go to work, so we did something earlier that day during lunch when we our lunch break because we knew he had to work that night. So you make things make sense. Like you know what I'm saying. You create ways to make Valentine's Day a romantic day.
I agree because, like you said, the restaurants are booked and busy.
Yes,
So do something at home. Like, you know, bring
it's a
the
lot of
restaurant
private
home.
chefs you can hire
Exactly.
to come out.
So, ladies or fellas, what are you doing for Valentine's Day?
Yeah, do
this
not
week?
wait. Do not get an ultimatum, please. If you need help, I'm pretty sure there's so much event companies out there that's willing to help you guys. Starting with Inuka. Inuka will put together an event for you.
I could put together a nice event for you.
Digital too.
Yeah.
But you know what's funny? I was thinking about Valentine's Day. I was thinking about I was in middle school and a guy brought me a gift. But I have to call my brother. Today I was supposed to ask my brother. So I received a gift, but I remember I don't know if my brother threatened me about, oh, if you bring that gift home, I'm gonna tell dad it's from your boyfriend. And I'm pretty sure me and that guy was not dating in middle school. He just bought me a Valentine's Day balloons and teddy bears. And I remember giving it to my brother and he gave it to his girlfriend. Yes.
Oh, wow.
I remember that.
That's horrible.
But I'm trying to remember, did he threaten me?
He probably did.
He did. And
And
I
it's-
remember her holding my teddy bear. She's at the house with my stuff, and I'm like, do I tell on him? But I was young.
It's because he didn't get her any gift. So.
Nah. I don't know how romantic. I don't know. Nope, I'm not gonna do that today. But you gotta find a romantic side of you.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of guys will be like, oh man, I'm not on that. Or they'll be like, it's a pagan holiday. No, you just don't want to buy simple flowers,
Simple flowers.
chocolate. It's easy. It's in your face. As soon as you walk in Publix or anywhere, the items are there.
Chocolates.
But I'm not crazy about Valentine's Day. Are you?
No, but if I'm in a a relationship, I want to celebrate all the holidays.
So someone did ask, do you buy your guy a gift?
Yeah.
I agree. I used to
Yeah.
do baskets, quick little baskets.
So you a
booster.
DIY girl?
Nah, it wasn't no DIY. It was always somebody selling a basket with,
Okay.
a cologne set or that Hennessy basket back in,
That's a good
a pack of Hennessy with some boxes and some undershirts. And I had a friend, shout out to Tasha. Tasha was big on that.
On
Making
Hennessy baskets?
making baskets. Like, girl, let's go. We're going to go get the boxers, the undershirt. Like, she'll create a whole basket for them.
That's the type of friend you need.
She's romantic, though. She likes stuff like that.
Yeah, that's cool. I think
She-
I could be pretty romantic too. Like do stuff. I like
Yeah.
surprising people.
Oh, you do?
I do. Yeah.
I don't like surprises.
No?
I like to walk into a surprise.
That's a surprise.
Well, okay. I like to know, like, I'm here, and then you surprise me.
That's a surprise. So you like surprises.
No, I don't. I don't like to be, it's another word then.
You're nosy. That's what it is.
That's what it is.
Okay, I get it.
I guess that's what it is. All right, now that we're off of Valentine's Day, the love month, guys, please go out, get your girl a gift. Okay, start with your mom, start with your sisters, buy them something, and then from there, move on to your wife or ask your sisters for help to, celebrate your wife this weekend. So We won the Super Bowl. Well, the Eagles.
Go Eagles.
That's who you was going for.
Oh yeah. And the only reason why I like the Eagles is because of Tio.
Okay.
He used to play for the Eagles, and he is tall, dark, and handsome.
Is he single? No.
I don't know.
At this point, you don't know with the football players.
No, he doesn't play with them anymore.
Okay. So you knew of him
I
playing
knew
for
of
them.
him playing for the Eagles, and that's the only reason why I went for the team.
All right.
Yeah.
So now that we're off of that, let's speak about Black History Month.
Yes.
Who was your favorite Black History, I'll say famous Black History person you did a school project on?
Madam C.J. Walker. Do you
knew
remember
was gonna
her?
say that. Yes.
Yeah.
She Netflix have a series on her now.
Mm-hmm.
I think honestly, I used to take the easy way out.
Oh,
Martin Luther King. I ain't
that's
got time.
too easy.
Listen, Martin Luther King was always the person I picked. I kid you not. Every time I had a Black History project to do, I'm like, yeah, I'm doing Dr. Martin Luther King.
Yeah, that's easy.
And then Malcolm X would have been someone I would love to do.
Malcolm X is too mean.
After hearing like his true story.
Like he's just like, "Ugh."
You think so?
He is.
I mean, the way I feel about Martin Luther King, I mean, Martin Luther King had a dream, but I feel like Martin Luther King didn't tell us the entire dream. I mean, all he did was say, oh, he had a dream that we will come together, but he didn't tell us, yo, till this day, 2025, we still here.
I don't think the full dream was for him to tell. I think he
just
just had to tell a portion of it.
Well, they say he was a prophet.
Yeah.
See, that part when I was doing his my Black History, it was, I didn't dig that deep.
Yeah.
But after hearing some sermons and stuff, he was a rev.
Harriet Tubman as well.
Oh yeah,
Prophet
my friends
as well,
used to do them. But Martin Luther King was who I used to always do.
Every year.
Every year. Remember, it's a whole new teacher, a whole new, semester.
Same project.
Same project.
Hey.
Same project. Walk in the library with my loud voice, get kicked out, but I always got it done though. That's actually saying science and history was my two favorite class. But once again, going back to last night.
Black History?
No, last night.
Oh, the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm. And all the statements and all the
Yes, it was a lot of subliminal,
messages that was being given last night.
I think it was great. Like he was, from my eyesight, what I saw, the American flag,
yes,
being portrayed, with the black men, basically showing us that America was built off of,
Yeah, give it up to Samuel Jackson though. I like that part he played. His voice was perfect for it. As soon as I seen him, I was like, oh yeah.
Yeah,
they did that.
Uncle Sam.
Yeah,
he played Uncle Sam.
They did that.
Yeah, he really did good. But it was a lot of subliminal messages and just really empowered black excellence and just showed the significance of black people.
You know what still made me cringe? Like when I hear it, I was watching a documentary. It's a documentary on Netflix about models.
Mm-hmm.
And they were talking about, how it was in that industry, being black, being Latino, Afro-Latino, being all of that. And it was just crazy to me that you still hear the word, the first black this, the first black that, the first black person to do this. And we're like, it's 2022, 3, 24, 25. And we're still labeling the first black of something. So when I hear that, it just had me like, wow.
I don't think we realize that slavery was abolished like recently type of thing.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't like 19, like you get what I'm saying? Like this is like not 100 years ago. And so since it was recent, there are people who are slaves and they're alive now who were slaves, So it's kind of like fresh in a way per se when you're looking at the world. And so, yeah.
What was your last movie you watched about something dealing with Black history?
I would say it was Harriet Tubman movie.
Okay.
Yeah, I watched that.
Movie
Moses.
in the theaters.
Mm-hmm.
Whew. Before I watch the new movie that's on Netflix, I need to get the name of these movies. But this is the one of the women in the army.
The Women in the Army.
It's recent movie. But my last movie was 12 Years of Slavery. That messed me up.
It did.
And sometimes you watch Black History movies and you see how long they are, so you're dragging that moment with them, and then you don't know the effect it does after watching it.
Yeah.
So when I watched that, I was like, wait, he was free, then wait, what? And this is based on a true story?
Yeah.
So after the 12 years of slavery, I just said, oh yeah, I'm done. I'm no longer watching Black History movies anymore.
Why?
That was my personal.
You couldn't
personal
handle
doing.
it?
I didn't like the aftermath.
Which was?
The aftermath was just, it didn't have anything to do with me being racist or me feeling like, oh my God, we're stuck. No, it was just like, I didn't like the trauma that came with it.
That's something that's a stigma that has to be talked about, though. The trauma. A lot of Black people are still dealing with trauma, generational trauma that we haven't really healed from and are afraid to talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was that. It was the impact and the trauma from the movies.
Yeah.
But watching the recent one that I told you about, the women in the army, it was good. It was happy, sad. It was, people died in it. But it just showed like, wow, the courageous, how they were using the army to do that. And it was just them delivering and sorting out mail, but the impact that they did for a lot of these army men that in the family of the guys that was in the military, that was amazing.
Let me ask you, do you think that trauma is real?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay.
And trauma is real where, I mean, I didn't experience what I was watching.
Yeah.
And I felt it. So I know it's real. And it's one of those things where, we say this now, oh, if that was me, oh, they would never do that to us. If that was me back in the days, oh, they would have seen me. Oh, no, they still seeing us.
Yeah.
And some of us still got to humble ourselves in certain situations.
Just in a different way.
We went through that season of, oh, take your hoodie down. We went through the season of...
We're still going through that season because I still tell my son sometimes. I do.
LeBron James, there was a video of him telling a couple of guys, young guys, I don't know if that was his sons, but to remove their hoodie while they was at the basketball game.
Yeah.
Because and we went through that with church.
Mm-hmm.
There was a time they were wearing, I mean, it was cold, but okay. But they were telling them to remove their hoodies. I was like, huh? And then I thought about it, I was like, oh, okay, good.
Exactly.
Here we go again. So now that we have this platform and, you think about, oh, we have a voice now and we can speak about things and we can open up to the Black history life or just being Black. Have you ever had a situation of racism or you encounter anything?
A Karen?
You had a Karen before?
I'm not sure.
I think I had a Karen before, but because how I am, not how I used to be, how I am in that moment, I don't even let the Karens really talk. At that moment, I shut you off.
I've definitely experienced colorism before. I can't say, I don't remember racism. Probably, but I don't per se.
I had one where my hair, I had just got some nice bundles, curly hair. And the lady was like, are you going to do surgery with your hair like that? I was like, yeah. And I'm not wearing a hairnet. This is how I'm going to style my hair, like put my hair in a ponytail for surgery. And right when I was about to say something, my manager, all I heard was whittling. And I was like, let me walk away. Then I had another one. I don't know if you ever experienced this where you work on Black History Day. I mean, I'm sorry, not Black History Day. Sorry, Martin Luther King. That Monday, freshly at work, and someone say, "What are you doing here?" And you're like, "Wait a minute. What do you mean what I'm doing here?" To a point you forget, because you're serving. You're at work, and I was like, "Huh? What do you mean what I'm doing?" She's like, "It's Martin Luther King Day. You should be off today, or you should be at the parade. You should do that." And I was like. And I remember telling her, I was like, well, he did have a dream. And I pointed at my coworker that was Caucasian and me. And I was like, we're here. We're working together. So it's working. It's working. It's okay. Thank you for being more than me. But I'm here today to serve. And I'm working with the dream that he had. So we're here. We came together. But I went through that. I went through protesting. Like, I don't have patients that tell me, why are you not out there protesting? And I remember telling that lady, the day I go out, as of right now for me, The day I decide to go out to go protest is me saying I might not come home.
Oh wow.
You understand what I mean? I might not come home that day. And that goes for my brothers, my son, whoever that decide to go out to go protest, is you making a decision not to come back home that day.
True.
So now that we have all these platforms, I can protest
On your
right here
platform.
on this podcast,
Yeah.
on a picture. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. But yeah. I'm just grateful to still see change that's happening.
That's good. I mean, what are some key issues that you feel needs to be addressed in the Black community?
Oh my God, that's a hard question.
I mean, I feel like there's a lot.
It's a lot. It's a
Yeah,
list.
it's a list of things. One thing that I can say that I'm an advocate for is financial literacy. 100%.
True.
As Black people, Black culture, I don't, and it's not that I don't believe, but it's proven that we're not taught financial literacy. We didn't know financial literacy, you know? And so it's not being passed on. And that's why we're not aware on how to do certain things and move a certain way than the people, you know, who are in another race. They move. We don't know how to move like that.
For me, I'll say appearance. People might not agree with what I have to say.
Just explain it.
You know, my list goes on in my head, but I'll say appearance.
Okay.
I think sometimes we forget that we get invited to certain places that we should pull up on our appearance, because people are just automatically waiting for us to come a certain way, you know, to dress a certain way. But if you're being invited to somewhere, you know, pull up on your appearance. Pull up on, you know, don't just be like, oh, this is how we are. You know, this is what we do. No, you're invited to somewhere and you get to change, you know, an atmosphere of how you want to pull up, you know? Because I think I went through that too, where people expect you to dress a certain way, and then when you come you come presentable, they're like, oh, I didn't, I didn't think, you know, you'll wear a gown to this event. You know, I had an issue where one time we went on an event and a lady was like, oh, I didn't think you ride horses. I was like, yo, what do you think Black people do? I was like, okay, Lord, I'm gonna just smile.
Yeah, just smile like this. Cheese. Don't say anything.
Yeah.
You know,
But-
another thing I would say too is the mental health aspect. A lot of times men don't know how to heal, how to cope with certain issues, you know? As a Black
Yes.
man, it's like you have to be so strong. Black woman too.
Yeah.
But I feel like, you know, Black man, you have to be so strong and you deal with all these issues and trauma, and you don't get the healing, and then you express it in another way.
I think for me, for Black women, we come with this control though.
Yeah.
We have this control thing that we got going on that we can release one day, that we can finally put our guards down and be like, okay, I don't have to be the strong person in this room right now. I don't have to stand firm to feel like no one's gonna try me, you know?
Yeah, I can relate to that.
Yeah.
I can. Yeah, sometimes, especially in the field that I'm around a lot of men, strong, you know, powerful men, and you can't show your weakness.
Got it.
You kind of have to, yeah. You ever heard Figgy D?
Yeah.
Like your face strong so that you can go through the conversation, go through the meeting and not cracking,
True.
you know? So I've experienced that. Definitely.
But it's so much to talk about. Like with Black history, you know, you hear it all the time. It's a calendar effect, right? So we go through the calendar effect of life. But in your mind, you're like, I'm not only Black in February. I'm not only Black when it's Black History Month. So how do you continue to make sure, you know, you keep that going to continue being, I don't know if the word representing Black people is a great word, but just knowing like to keep the culture going, to keep the culture flowing of.
No, I get what you're saying. I think it's just really bettering yourself in different areas where it comes to financial literacy, mental health, growing, business, just bettering yourself and then pouring it back out into the community. You know, like what we're doing, what we're trying to do, what we're gonna do.
I'm so excited for that. I'm so excited for that. And then one thing about the men conference that we're opening it up to all men.
Right.
So we'll be able to not only heal our black men, but we get to heal their friends that surround them that they, the friends that surround them that's not black. We have this thing too, like you said, it's always, a black thing, a black thing, a black thing, but now we get to open it up to everyone with the things that we're working on. I'm super excited about that.
So am I. And with me, advocate for, financial literacy, I get to share that information with my community, with women, with men, as well, kids,
the youth,
to make a difference. That's what we have to do. We have to first start with ourselves, and then once we're filled, we can pour it out into the community.
True. So what is a girl grow moment that you have for us? Like, what is something you want to leave us with, knowing to grow, to level up in this time?
I feel like I just said it.
You did?
I feel like I did. Just really learning everything that you need to learn for that. It's February Black History Month, so I'm gonna say Black excellence. So Black excellence, getting to that Black excellence.
Yes.
It's learning what you need to learn, because there's so much to learn for mental care, self-care, financial care, all of that stuff, business. Getting all that information and not just housing it for yourself.
True.
Being a catalyst and where you can spread it out to your community. So for this Black History segment, I would say growing yourself and pouring it out into community.
Yeah.
Like I said.
And learning your law.
Yeah.
Learning the law. Because sometimes we sit there and we're fighting something we have no understanding about.
That's
but
true.
When you have knowledge, what the Bible said, my people perish for the lack of knowledge. Mm-hmm. When you gain knowledge of something, you will know how to speak about it. You'll know how to express yourself about it and be affirm of it.
Consumer law, too. I had a friend of mine, she told me, because I always give my son books to read because I want him to be informed.
That's good.
And she was like, let him read consumer law. Just, law on consumer, because a lot of things that we don't know that we have the power to, or, we just don't understand it. And because we don't know how to use this, or we kind of lack.
Got it.
Yeah.
Guys, we thank you. Highlight of the night, Inuka and I are working on giving back to the community. Do we announce it or we post it?
Yes, let's announce it.
All right, so Inuka and I decided that we will be giving back to the community, where we'll have you guys donate amazing pillows.
Pillow drive.
Yes, we're doing a pillow drive. It's a hug of love. What else you want to call it? A comfort moment for a child that's in foster care, that will be giving out pillows to the shelter homes. Imagine, your first day in foster care.
That's a lot.
And you get a nice fluffy pillow for that night. And, I don't know, they cry on it. They pray. So we're doing a pillow drive, guys. That's different.
It definitely is different. When you brought it to my attention, that was the first time I heard about it. And I'm like, a pillow drive, never heard about it before, but it's really good. And one thing that I want to share is that I used to be in a domestic violence shelter with me and my son. He was about 2 years old. And if someone gave me a pillow, like a community of women came and gave me a pillow, that would have been very touching. So thinking back, I'm like, that is a good idea.
It's an amazing idea.
Because that would be really, amazing to do. I would have definitely enjoyed that back then.
So be on the lookout. We'll be posting the information where you guys will be able to donate for us to get pillows. We'll have a place where you can drop off new pillows. And, if you want to go the extra mile, bring the covers of the pillows, too, with hearts on it. I don't know. They should have Valentine's Day.
Right.
Small
pillows. Small pillows, guys. Like little cute little small pillows.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, yes, we'll be doing a pillow drive. So that's the highlight of today. And once again, we thank everyone for tuning in. I'm your girl, What's So Real, from We Are Not the Same Podcast.
And I'm your girl, Inuka Joe, from Grow Girl Podcast. And it's been real.